Alright, so let's get into this. This is the Nike True Blue Dunks that came out in 2006. A beater pickup from off of eBay for $15. And as you can see, it's not too bad condition. Soles aren't too bad, just a little dirty and lint. But a good buy, good pickup. The guy said he stepped in red paint or whatever, so red dye or whatever the fuck that is on the bottom. But I'm not worried about that. It's just the bottom of the shoes. As you see, there's some creasing in the toe box, but not too bad. The left shoe is in good shape. The right one had a little bit of carnage to the toe creases, but not a big deal. Nothing we can't fix. So yeah, the back's a little bit of worn down on the heel, but nothing too serious. There's a little side profile right there. So first up is the wash. Again, just giving you a look at the shoe. Pretty dirty right here. Not too dirty, but dirty. And again, the red bottoms. And so what I used was just dishwashing liquid, the Ajax, as you just saw, and a sponge, typical dish sponge, and hot water. You just lather that all up, get it all nice and foamy, and bam, pop your first shoe in. So I start with the toe box and then I work my way around the shoe. As you can see, hard scrubbing on the scrubbing pad part of the sponge. And unfortunately, the camera was too low, so the shoe's out of the shot. But basically, like I said, just work my way around the shoe until I come back up to the top. And repeat again. But kind of give it a little bit of a hard scrub. Not too hard. You don't actually want to start removing paint from off the leather, but hard enough to get the dirt and debris and shit off. And then jump on to shoe number 2, and I basically repeat the same process. You know, getting a little bit of the tongue there, but I do the tongue after. But mainly toe box, around the shoe, etc., etc. And then what I do is I flip the shoes upside down in the basin, and then I scrub the tongue of the shoes, as you can see here. And I kind of like it because you can scrub hard on it, and then the water runs straight down. So it's just kind of like a one sweepy motion. And you really get to put some pressure on it and swipe down and get it all off. Give you a little close up right there. As you can see, pretty clean. So now I hit the cement part of the shoe. This time I flipped the sponge over. I used the sponge part. I didn't want to use the scrubbing pad part. It might have been too rough on that material. So I just used the sponge part. It was a little dirty. And then on the back, towards the Nike part, the upper back, I used the sponge or the scrubbing pad again. So again, you don't want to get a rough pad or some people use the bristle brushes. You don't want to really use it on the cement part of the shoe. So yep, this is basically regular scrub dub. Nothing too serious. And then again, that red paint that was on the bottom of the shoes is why I put both shoes in to soak it in. Kind of get it off. But as you can see, toe box clean, tongue's clean. So now to the decreasing. So all I used was a thin washcloth and an iron on cotton heat. And as you can see, I damped the washcloth first, put it on, and then went over the top. But you got to be careful. You don't want to leave the iron on too long because you'll actually start to remove the paint. The paint will heat up and it'll come off. You don't want that. So the washcloth was so thin that I actually folded it over and repeated. And again, very, very important, unless you want some fucked up shoes in the front, don't leave the iron on too long. Basically, all you're doing is you're just adding hot steam back into the leather to make it flexible again, to tighten up. So whether you stuff paper or socks into the front part of your shoes, that's all you're doing is you're heating up the leather to retake that shape again. Nothing more, nothing less. That's why some people who actually have them, they use steamers. So that's the right shoe done. Now onto the left. Again, the left shoe didn't really have that much damage in the toe box, so that really wasn't a big deal. And now for touching up the scuffs, I just use Angela's white leather paint, and I used a Q-tip because you're just filling in the scuffs. You're not really painting over it. You're just filling it in and blending it in with the rest of the shoe. That's all you're doing. You don't want to put too much because then you'll spot it. It'll be like a blotch of white, crispy white paint, and then the regular color of the shoe. So you don't want that. You just want it to blend it in. So what I did is I would apply it, fill in the scuff, and then I would flip the Q-tip to the dry part, and then I would smooth it all out with that and blend in the color so you couldn't really tell that it was a scuff mark there. So definitely you can give it a try. I didn't use no paint brushes on the scuffs, just the Q-tips. And again, the left shoe was in better condition, so there wasn't really that many scuffs to touch up. But the same thing I did for the first, I did for that shoe. So it's not rocket science. It's not hard at all. As you see, this basically light dabs, not too heavy-handed with it, not too much paint on the Q-tip to begin with. So now we get into painting the bottom of the soles, and as you can see, the bottom of the soles are still red, but I thought about it, why use acetone or anything to remove that when you're going to walk on that part anyway? Why repaint over it if you're going to walk on it anyway? So I just went with painting the sides of the soles and a little bit under it to hide that red so you couldn't tell. And as you see, I just use a small, fine paintbrush. I didn't masking tape it off or anything. I just freehanded, dabbed it in and just applied that first coat of paint. And as you see, it already looks better than that piss yellow stain color that the shoe has. So am I good? Now on the star part in the front, you kind of want to dab it and kind of like a stabbing motion with the paintbrush when you get around to the front to get in each and every little crevices of the stars. Because if you don't, you're going to have little spots that are yellow that show. That'll catch your eye and really show, and you don't want that. You want that nice, full, even white coat all around the shoe. So, making my way around. And as you can see right here, you can tell what I was saying. There's a few parts of the stars that aren't fully covered. As you can see, the little blotches of yellow. That's what you don't want. Well, this is just the first coat, so it's not a big deal. You even it out as you put your other layers of paint down. And as you can see, you really don't need to mask it off, so don't waste your tape or something like that. It's pretty simple. As long as you got a wet rag nearby, you can wipe off the over layer parts that you hit and just go at it and save your tape for a real big restoration project. So that's one shoe done versus one undone. As you can see, the white looks crisp, clean versus the piss yellow. Besides from the creases on your shoe, that shit could pass for damn near brand new. You see the back, side, nice crisp white hitting off of that True Blue in the shoe. And as you see the top and bottom comparison, the bottom shoe looks way better than the top. And it's even hiding that hint of red from whatever that shit is that was on the bottom of the shoe. Now this is both shoes done. Side views, back view. And again, that little white speck I wiped off. You don't even see. So now we're looking good. So heading on to the lace up. And that's what the laces. I didn't have bleach, so the laces didn't come out crispy white like they should have. And I'm a firm believer, if you got worn shoes, don't go buy new laces because you know that they're new laces and it makes your shoe look even more worn. Because again, it catches your eye. Your eye tunes in on the brand new laces and then the old beat up shoes. So try to keep the original laces unless they're so far gone. But as you can see, good job on the restoration. Nice clean bottom sole. Not too bad at creases in the sole, in the toe box. You know, they basically almost look like they were kept in mint condition. So yeah, so let me know what you think in the comments. Rate my restoration from 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest. Let me know what shoes you would like to see done. I do have another pair of beaters that I wear to work. The Nike Dunk Lows with the white bottom. So I've been thinking about doing those for a while. So those will probably be next up. Check out the Spizike restoration that I did. And again, rate, comment, and subscribe. More to come.